back on the River Avon again, this time further upstream. We put in at Lacock in Wiltshire, my mate Wall's home village, and planned to paddle about 12 miles downstream to Bradford on Avon over 2 days, hoping to find a suitable spot for an overnight camp on the riverbank, somewhere south of Melksham. The river at the put-in spot under some willow trees was very narrow, and straight away we had to negotiate some tricky overhanging branches, which made the paddling interesting and challenging. Wall had told me that he'd paddled some of this stretch before, so had primed me as to how constricted it was in places. For the first few miles we could have been in a tributary of the Amazon, or anywhere in the world. It certainly didn't feel like a river in Wiltshire. It was amazing fun choosing a line through the tight foliage and fallen trunks and branches.
Don't forget, you gotta let know all you can. Don't look back, don't forget, you gotta let know all you can. Don't you wait until the morning light, the morning light. Far away until you're out of sight, you're out of sight. Cause you gotta let know all you can. Gotta let know all you can. Don't look back, don't forget, you gotta let know all you can. Don't look back, don't forget, you gotta let know all you can. Don't look back, don't forget, you gotta let know all you can.
The weir at Melksham is the first of 3 weirs between Lacock and Bradford on Avon. This was probably the most strenuous portage of the trip. We had to unload the boats and lift them over a high fence and carry them through a park. It didn't take that long though to get through the town and back out into quiet countryside again, under a few bridges and past a few miserable looking fishermen. The river widened after Melksham until a fallen willow tree that well and truly blocked our passage. A bit of heaving and pulling with a very close call with nearly losing my glasses, and we were through. As we'd not set off till nearly midday, it was late afternoon by the time we got through Melksham, so it was about time we found a quiet spot for an overnight camp. I put out a silent but sincere request to the river sprites to show us a suitable location. And just as we were feeling a tad despondent after passing through banks thick with nettles and dense willow, we came across a lovely little raised spot above the river with a willow tree the exact proportions to string a hammock. Hammock strung and camp set up, Wall went back on the river for a fish with the aim of catching a fat perch for the barbecue, while I was left with kitchen duties and some time to sit and look at the river.
Cheers, Walt.
Cheers, Mel.
This is quite delightful. Quite delightful.
You say take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance?
Day 2 on the river. The second weir of the trip was on the outskirts of Trowbridge, behind the Nestlé factory. Someone before us, presumably other paddlers, had hacked or cleared a short pathway through the undergrowth, which made it fairly easy to portage the weir. Under another handsome bridge, and then the rain started and stayed with us for the rest of the afternoon until Bradford on Avon, when it turned into a deluge. The cameras were stashed in waterproof bags, meaning I didn't get any more footage of the last few miles into Bradford on Avon. I can't leave a project unfinished, so I've actually come back and paddled the last couple of miles again, just so I could film the last leg of the trip from the third and last weir outside the town. This is the last weir that we had to negotiate on this paddle from Lacock. It's fairly inaccessible to anyone apart from boaters on the river, as far as I can see. Again, as with most weirs, take great care, they can be treacherous underfoot. Wear some shoes with good grip, or better still, go barefoot, as I think it's a more sensible way to judge the slipperiness of what's underfoot. Suffice to say that I got the canoe and myself down, but I wasn't going to tempt fate and film it, as it was far too slippery. The last mile or so downstream to the Tithe Barn is sublime. It's like a tunnel of greenness. There are no less than 5 bridges between the last weir and the takeout spot in the town. The town bridge has got to be the prettiest. The dome building on top of the bridge as you approach the bridge from upstream was the town Lacock at one time, housing the town's troublemakers overnight. A couple of railway bridges are nothing to speak of, as they were constructed in the 19th century, I guess, in quite modern times. But the last bridge before the takeout at the rowing club is Barton Bridge, and this is a lovely structure, a medieval bridge built in about 1340.